everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my April wrap-up. April was a really weird month for me. I ended up getting into a pretty bad reading slump in the middle of April, and there was like a span of 2 weeks where I didn't read anything. But I did get a decent amount read in April because of Dewey's 24-hour readathon. So I am happy with the amount of reading that I did get during the readathon and a little bit at the beginning of the month, but otherwise April was not my best reading month. The first book I read was Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I listened to the audiobook version and it was fantastic. It's narrated by Will Wheaton and it is so good. I highly recommend it. I really enjoyed this book. I ended up giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved our main character, Wade. He's just so hilarious. He's really intelligent. He's clever. Such a great narrator. I really loved the plot. I loved the virtual reality aspect of this book and all of the action. Just overall, it was a fantastic book. And also, I thought the movie was a really good adaptation. We saw it actually before I finished reading the book. I saw the movie and I don't think it took away from me loving the book. Next, I finally finished City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. This is the 6th and final book in the Mortal Instrument series and I'm so happy I'm finally done with the Mortal Instrument series. I am so happy. This has been a goal of mine for quite some time now and I finally finished it. It's quite a chunky book. It took me a lot of recheckouts for the audiobook, which is fantastic by the way, but I'm so happy that I finally finished it. I ended up giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. I won't go into any details because it is the finale, but I have to say the epilogue in this book is fantastic. It is one of the best endings of a book that I have read in a really long time and definitely the best one in all of Cassandra Clare's books. I think this was my favorite. Even though I prefer the Infernal Devices a little bit more over the Mortal Instrument series, City of Heavenly Fire so far has been my favorite. Next, I read Blood Promise by Rochelle Mead, and this is the 4th book in the Vampire Academy series. Now, our live show for Blood Promise, Shadow Kiss, and Scythe are going to be this upcoming Saturday on May 5th, and Scythe is going to be at 6 p.m. Pacific, and then Blood Promise and Shadow Kiss are going to be at around 7-ish p.m. Pacific. And the really cool thing is that Hannah and I are going to be doing this live show together. I really hope you come join us. Okay, so back on my thoughts for Blood Promise. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. I think I enjoyed reading it more the first time than this reread. I think it's because the first half of it was just really slow. I was having trouble getting through Rose traveling, figuring out what her next move was, just, I don't know. I thought it was really slow. I thought a lot of it could have been kind of cut out. I didn't think that the entire, like this whole book merited 500 pages. Even though in this book, it has one of my favorite endings. The last like third of this book is full of action and a lot happens and it's really good. And I had forgotten so much of it when I reread it that I was extremely surprised at the end still. But the first half of this book, oh man, I think it could have been cut in half. Next, I listened to Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare. So this is a collection of 10 novellas, and for the first 8 novellas, I ended up giving them around a 3 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed them, but I didn't enjoy a lot of the flashbacks like I thought I would. I loved learning more of the history of the Shadowhunters, but I found myself wanting to go back into the present and follow the main characters that Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy is about. But the last couple novellas I thought were fantastic, and especially the very last one, Angels Twice Descending. I ended up giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. The ending was so good. Cassandra Clare knows how to write a good ending. Next, I read A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare, a graphic novel, and this was retold by Nell Yomtov and illustrated by Bernice Muniz. I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5 stars. I really loved the illustrations. I loved the colors and just the pictures, and it was just, the illustrations were beautiful, but the story, the retelling of it, I just ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. This is my one of my favorite Shakespeare plays, so I was a little more critical on it. But it wasn't bad. The next two books I didn't finish, but I did get about halfway through them, so I'm gonna go ahead and just mention them really quick. The first one is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. I am really loving this story so far. I think it might be a 5 out of 5 stars for me. I am loving the characters. I love the plot. It is really different than anything that I've really read before, so I'm really loving it, and hopefully I will be able to finish it in May. And then the next book is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Now, as I mentioned, this is our April book pick of the month, so I'm a little ashamed. Actually, I'm a lot ashamed. I'm not done with it yet. I should have finished this a while ago, but I'm just dragging my feet. So I still have a little bit of time before our live show to finish it, especially on our plane ride. The plane ride is like a 6.5 hour, and then I've got a 2.5 hour layover. So I have a good amount of time to read and finish this book, but I'm a little ashamed that I didn't finish it in April. Oh well. Alright guys, well that is it for my April wrap up. Let me know some of the books that you read in April, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!